From the National Service of the Liberia Broadcasting System, and welcome to Newsline, 30 minutes news presentation about Liberia and the rest of our one world. Today is Wednesday, August 9, 2023. With this afternoon's presentation, my name is Titi Jibro. Top stories this afternoon: Bourgeois Island welcomes President George Weah on day 2 of his campaign for re-election. National Disaster Management Agency launches flood alert strengthening amid heavy downpour across the country. Education Ministry clarifies it will not adjust the school calendar because of elections. And away from Liberia, Ghana's main opposition party wants a central bank governor quit amid rising cost of living. Sports. French. A report of today's weather and foreign development are all packaged. Maxwell Johnson first sets the pace with a bulletin of news.
President George in Montserrat County with visits in District 14 and 16 on the Bourgeois Island. The Liberian leader is joined by thousands of jubilant supporters and partisans as he hosts rallies in both New Town and Claratown. The two districts are held highly by the Liberian leader, especially having been raised in the slums of Claratown in District 14. Today, activities kick off in the borough of New Town with massive endorsements planned for President George Weah's second-term bid. The two districts are represented in the House by ruling party lawmakers in Abraham Vamuya Kone and Dixon Sibo. The National Disaster Management Agency, NDMA, and partners have launched the Flood Crisis Anticipatory Tool Project worth 51,000 United States dollars in Monrovia. The project aimed at strengthening the flood alert system to provide accurate rainfall forecast and raise timely alerts to the citizens. Speaking at the program Wednesday, NDMA Executive Director Henry Williams described the project as crucial, noting that it will enable the agency receive early warnings on potential flaws and send out timely alerts to communities.
This project, I will not say the funding is small, but the activities are crucial for effective flood management and even to manage other disasters.
Mr. Williams also lauded action against hunger for the initiative and called on other development partners to support disaster management programs in the country. The initiative, targeting more than 3,000 people in 10 slums communities, was launched with funding from Action Against Hunger. Education Minister Ansu Soni has clarified that schools will reopen for academic 2023 and 2024 on September 4 this year. It comes amid concerns in the public about planned adjustment to the academic year due to the elections. However, speaking in an ELBC interview Wednesday, Mr. Soni said though the country is presidential and legislative election in October, the country is going to presidential and legislative election in October, it will in no way halt the reopening of schools.
We start school on September 4, and I want to also talk to parents. Parents, please do everything you can to make sure that your children are ready for school.
The education minister also noted that the suspension of classes will be announced by the ministry during the electioneering period. He maintained that the academic curriculum must be satisfactorily completed. 9 public schools in Grand Cape County have received a donation of 45,000 United States dollars. A donation was done by the Education Ministry for the purchase of digital laboratory equipment. Schools that benefited from the donation include the Sinje Public School, Rawa Sports High School, and Medina High School, among others. Our correspondent said each of the benefiting schools received 5,000 United States dollars. Meanwhile, the district's education officers and students have lauded the government for the gesture. And a fisherman has reportedly drowned in the Cavalry River in Maryland County. That continually got drowned when his canoe capsized while fishing recently. According to our correspondent, it was mandated by the head of the fishermen Azegyan that no fisherman should go fishing without wearing a life jacket. Meanwhile, police are investigating as the man went on the fishing expedition along with his uncle in the canoe when it capsized.
Maxwell Johnson returns a later with our foreign development and weather report. One of our top stories this afternoon: National Disaster Management Agency launches early warning system for flood amid heavy downpour across the country. To this story now. On Tuesday, the ruling Coalition for Democratic Change officially kicked off campaign activities in Montserrado County. CDC partisans and supporters converged in their numbers at various points in districts 7 and 8 to form part of the tour and rallies. As Vasta Talu reports, the activities witnessed a species of affirmation of support for the re-election of President George Weah.